Hi, this is Maria Quattrone with Fearless Female Leaders, their untold stories revealed, our multi author book. And I would love to welcome my guest and friend, Michelle Saward. Welcome, Michelle.
Good morning, Maria. Thank you for having me
Oh,
today.
thank you. I'm so excited to talk to you about the book. Doing a book was something that I always dreamed about doing, and I wrote it in my journal
Mm.
in January, and I wrote book this year. I had no idea what that meant. I was just like, okay, how is that going to happen? And and then you know how it works, right? We put it out there to the universe.
Mhm.
It's like we want to buy a white Mercedes, and then we buy a white Mercedes, and then all we see is white Mercedes everywhere.
Right.
So it's like we look for what we find what we look for. So came across that idea. What should the book title be? Oh my God, I know so many fearless female leaders, not just only in the real estate space, which we're in, but
Mhm.
also in marketing companies, in mortgage, in all kinds of different industries, things that we don't even think about industries. And if somebody said to me, one of my good friends, they said, I think it was you, Michelle. I don't feel fearless. I
Oh,
said,
yeah.
I said, Michelle, you are fearless because here's the deal. Fearless means we feel the fear and we do it anyway.
Yeah.
And the multi-author book is all about wonderful human females like yourself sharing your stories. So today, Michelle, I'm so excited to have you as a contributor to this book and to this for this collaboration in our community. And I want to ask you a few questions. Number
Yeah.
one, why do you want to do a book?
Well, I want to say I didn't know that you wrote it down in your journal for January. So I'm going to start there. And when I was in the fifth grade, I wrote like a little short story. And my fifth grade teacher said that I was so creative, I could be a writer one day. And it has stuck in my head ever since. But again, I never really put the pen to paper to say, okay, here's what it's going to be and here's why. And so when you called, to say co-author, do this with me, like be a contributor, right? I was like, well, here we go. This is the definition of fearless. I didn't really know what it's going to be or why or how it might manifest. And I'm still working on the outline of it all, but it's moving forward anyway. Was this something that I've wanted to do? Not really sure exactly what it's going to come out and look like, but just taking those steps to do it anyway. So I think to answer your question, about fearless and why now, it's why not? Why not right now? If not now, when? So
Yes.
yeah,
If not
and
now, when?
if not
And
now, when?
that's a good point, Michelle, because I hear one of the biggest things,
Mhm.
because a lot of people want to do it, but they are afraid to make the commitment.
Mm.
And I think part of that is me, like I'm going to do this book,
Oh yeah.
and is oh, it's going to take so much time, or it's actually a fear
Oh yeah.
because
Totally. I'm afraid to even be on this conversation with you right now. Talking about it.
you're
Absolutely.
wonderful. And who are you
Absolutely.
kidding? I've seen you on stage out there telling your story.
Thank you.
So now it becomes real because it's words and it's in writing.
But
But
yeah.
that's what makes it even more powerful.
Well, yeah, I think that's it. It's just knowing what you're signing up for and then figuring it out as you go. And literally, after I made this commitment with you to move forward, I went to an event and I met a woman who's authored 6 books, and she authored her first book after she turned 60 years old. And she was like such an inspiration and a value add conversation. And I now know that I have people that I can, and you have been a great ally for that and resource too, of like who you can plug into and connect with to help build and craft this message the way that I really hope that it will come through. So it's amazing how the universe will rise up to meet you, like once you've made that commitment. So
100%.
yeah.
100%. And it's more about do, in being in the multi-author book is also about the community of
Mhm.
all of these different women from all around the world. And we have so much to offer individually, but collectively as a mastermind, so much even more
Mhm.
because we're all unique in our own ways. And things like that I'm really good at or really bad at, you're probably really good at, and taking everything together and putting it together and helping each other also work out what that story could and would look like for you. Because some people have a clear, here's exactly what I want to say, and others, there's so many different versions,
Oh
not
yeah.
versions, but timelines of the story.
Yep.
Which one is the one that you want to reveal?
That's
And I
me.
want to talk, yeah, you know what? I want to talk about that a little bit, Michelle,
Yeah.
because we're my belief is
Mhm.
that we have a commitment in this world to help other humans.
Yep. We do.
And if we don't tell our story, how many people are we leaving behind that we could bring along and lift up with us?
I wrote this down yesterday. Literally, that's why I just reached and I was
Yeah, yeah.
grabbing is I'm driven in this life to make it better for other people than before I arrived on this planet. Like my goal is to make an improvement and a change and to better the lives of other people. And for them to say when I'm dead and gone, she made my world better. Michelle Saward made my world better. And you're completely right. And I'm gonna lean into that of like building this community and that together we will, if we're all in alignment with that same core philosophy, you know, um, then how could we really lose when we're all rowing in the same direction and wanting the same things, right? It's sharing your story. And thank you for validating that conversation because we can take our stories for granted. And I've been guilty of that. I am so guilty of that. Just taking it for granted that everyone moves at this pace or it should be simple for everyone to embrace change or like and do the
Absolutely.
things that we do, and that's not always the case. You have to remember where you've come from, where other people are at in their journey in life, and you never know until you really share and dive deep and talk story about the journey and where you're headed in life, right?
I think that's really important and that's really good because there's so many people out there. The majority, there's so many, so many, so many, so many women that need to hear your story, that need to hear my story, that need hope, and to know that there's look. I'm like have a little bit of tears. I'm
Ah,
getting a little emotional about all of this because it is emotional because it's your life, and I agree that it is our mm, it's our I didn't say destiny, but responsibility
mm,
to leave this place a better place than when we came to it.
yeah.
And we can do that by teaching others how to fish, not fishing for them. So teaching them the ropes and showing them that it is possible and that anything is possible if you believe. And it's my hope that when people hear your story, Michelle, and they hear some of the other ladies who are in the book, their stories, that it gives them the hope that they need
Mhm.
to succeed
Yeah.
and help them rise up.
That's really it. It's a lean in, lean on other people's stories and to give hope and to inspire and to let other women know, and maybe some men will get their hands in the book too. I don't know. That
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. That's half the population. So, um, you know, let them know that they're not the only one that's gone through struggles or hard times, or and that these hard times are temporary, right? If you're going through something right now,
Mm.
because what goes up must come down,
Mm.
and what goes down can only really go back up. So, so just keeping in mind, I mean, trust me, I've been going through a phase most recently of just massive frustration of like, I just know that there's more, there's something great that's going to come out on the other end of it. And I just heard a conversation the other day that when you're in that level of frustration and aggravation, that you know that you're really close towards breaking through. You're like 2 millimeters away from gold. When
Yes.
you've reached that, I can't do this. That's right at the point where something really good is about to break open. So I think if we can keep that in mind over and over again, because I can't tell you how many times that's been absolutely true for me. At the point where I'm about to give up, at the point where I'm about to throw in the towel, I do win. A W-I-N, not a W-H-E-N. I'll be asking W-H-E-N, and then I get a W-I-N.
Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny how that happens? You could have like weeks of horrible, like just not feel like you're moving backwards. And then
Yes.
something happens. I have it happen when a lot of times we have new real estate agents that are coming into our company, and they're interviewing in a group interview. And then I hear their stories, and a lot of them bring tears to my eyes. And I remember why I'm doing this.
Mhm.
I remember why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then so it's that little glimmer of hope. It's that little bit of sun that's shining through, the window, and you only could see this little sliver, but it's enough to make you know that you're doing the right thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that is something that we all need. And it's my hope that through writing and through fearless female leaders, that we're able to provide others with that little glimmer of hope
Hmm. Yeah.
that they need to move forward because somebody else did it for us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And the cool thing about this book, this collaborative effort, is that it might not be my story. It might be your story or Alicia's story, or right? Like, or somebody else that's going to be a contributor that makes that difference or makes that move. So um,
We don't know whose story.
we don't know.
My chair fell down.
Oh, oh, who needs it?
I was sliding down to the.
You're like,
This is real. This is real life, everybody.
we're live.
We're not on a movie set.
Yeah, we're live.
This is
Yeah, but
happening in
I
real
mean,
life.
that's a perfect example. In real life, it's not going to go perfectly.
No,
This
nothing
goes
ever
right
does.
along with the theme. Talk about being on point, Maria.
Nothing ever does. And everything is temporary, right? So we have temporary pain either way. Temporary pain if we do something that's uncomfortable, and temporary pain if we don't. At least if we do it and it's uncomfortable, hopefully we're getting a result, right? We're putting ourselves out there.
I'm gonna dig in on that. I'm gonna put my finger in that wound and wiggle it around right now.
Let's do it.
About that temporary, that pain of not doing it. That's me. I'm gonna poke my finger right in there where it hurts and just start, making it worse. I'm gonna poke on that bruise a little bit here, but that is what keeps me up at night. That if I didn't do something or I didn't take action on what's been on my heart, that will, if you're not listening to your gut and to your heart, that will take you into a downward spiral so fast. And that's what will give you sleepless nights. Trust me, this is one of the frustrations and one of the conversations that I've just been having with myself over the past 30 days. It's back, baby. It comes and goes and it ebbs and it flows. You'll be up all night thinking about how things should be different or how you could have changed or how that could have gone. And then you take action in your shoe. And then you start to feel peace and you start to feel good about it and you start to like gain momentum and you start to grow. Right. But my God, the longer you stay in that conversation about not taking action on your next thing, the more stress and strife that's going to cause you.
I was up last night,
Oh,
most of the night.
oh,
Oh, yes, till like 3:30 because then I had to take a pill because I couldn't sleep. I'm reluctant to take a pill,
yeah,
very reluctant.
yeah,
Don't like to do that, but this is at like, and now it's 3:30 and I went to bed at 10 of
yeah,
10. It's 3:30 up and up. Anyway, I was thinking about exactly this. Not taking the action versus taking the action, being afraid. Being afraid
yeah,
to do a big, to do a big deal, being afraid to buy this home that I'm looking at that's out of my original comfort zone.
yeah.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Like, well, there's a lot of offers in, so what the worst can happen? We figure it out.
You figure it out. That's exactly.
We
Yeah.
figure it out.
But then
So I think
if you didn't try, you would just have that regret. I think that's
exactly.
worse.
I agree. The pain of regret is worse of the pain of temporary pain of trying. Because either way, so here's the deal, right? And I talk about this in
Mhm.
our work. We happen to be in the real estate industry, and we'll touch on that in a moment. But in our world, we have to do things like talk to people on the phone or, those types of things about real estate. And I say to the agent, our agent partners in our company, so what's worse? Making the calls and feeling the pain or not making them and feel the pain and having no money.
Right.
I'd rather feel the pain, make the calls, and at least get money from it.
Yeah. Right.
And
Right. At least you have one less worry, which is where's the money going to come from?
absolutely. Absolutely. So you mentioned something early on. You said that you had this burning desire for you've been a writer.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, well, it started in like fifth grade. So then I go vacillate back and forth between fiction, nonfiction, because I have a creative story in my mind, but then I also think that's not related to anything to do with anything I've achieved, you know? And then I think, okay, what would that unfold? What would that look like? But the woman that I met that wrote 6 books, she said, you first just have to write for the sake of writing, just to get out any random crazy thoughts that are in your head, and just write the first couple pages, or it might even be a couple chapters, just to get the juices flowing and to get out whatever it is that wants to be on paper. And once that's done, you'll find that you're in a flow state. And then that's when you're going to just start connecting and everything will start coming together and it will just start coming out of you. And I thought that that's, thank you. I was like, thank you so much for that tidbit, because it just gave myself permission to start crafting something that might not end up being the final product, right? Like it's okay to fail, and it's okay. Give yourself permission to like let the first little try not be your best try. Um, and because that's what we do all day long, you and I, right? Like we train real estate agents, and we know that their first try to, put a deal together won't be the best contract that they've ever written. It won't, but you progressively will get better as you go. And and so
right.
you just have to get over that hump of the first one
Yeah.
for everything to start to flow and get better.
You have to do the work.
Yeah.
You have to do the work. We can't go to 0 to 100. So it's just a layering in. I use the value of the compound effect to explain
Mhm.
that in our
Yeah.
2-week curriculum. And so it's the same thing here. In our case, we're lucky in this book because if you want to choose to use an interviewer, we have an interviewer that's going to interview everybody, and they will then transcribe your story that you just said to them
Hmm.
verbally and
Hmm.
give it back to you for edits. So, for those that don't want to actually sit and write out their chapter, we'll make it easy breezy, an hour interview, edits to be made, come back. So that's like really helpful for those that are really scared of writing, right? So I know some people that are really, really scared of writing. And
Hmm.
I feel like I'm not the greatest writer and I'm a little bit scared of writing myself. So I'm
Sure.
excited about the interview part of it. Even when we work with a PR company and when they say, when you want to write this, I said, call me and I'll verbally tell it to you.
That's, I have on my computer, it's called voice to talk or voice speech to text. I use it all the time for composing emails. I literally talk into my phone for all my grocery lists. I listen to Audible books like crazy. I have so many Audible books. I do that same thing. So I think with that though would come it comes both. It comes the interview, get the story out. That's draft number one. Then draft number two is the real writing and the editing. And before it goes to the editor, like cleaning up the story and sort of organizing it the way that you think that it should be as your second pass. So again, mastermind and support of building a team around you that will
Exactly.
help you achieve the goals that you've set forth. So that that's what I think always makes a goal easier. Is once you commit, as I said before, then the world will rise up to kind of help you. But until that commitment is made, how is the world going to know what exactly you're in earnest about to rise up to help you? I was just thinking about talking to another trainer at the gym, talking to a trainer at the gym. And until I walk up to the trainer and say, hey, I'm interested, they're not going to know that I'm interested in a trainer at all. They're just going to think that I'm content on the treadmill doing my thing, right? They don't know to rise up to help me unless you stick your neck out there and say, I'm interested. You got to raise your hand and you got to put your hand up. And sometimes it takes somebody like Maria to kick you in the butt to say, hey, you can do this. And remember a while ago when you said you wanted to be a contributor and make a mark on the world before your day is done? Yeah. Uh, get on this book with me. Like we got some work to do here, sister. So
We have some
that's
work to do. You know, it's really exciting too, so we can all work together on
mm,
getting better together. But also, this can be a catalyst for your own book someday about
huh?
whatever it is that you want.
That's my thought.
And it's a stepping stone.
Correct.
And from a cost standpoint, it's only a fraction of a cost of what it would actually physically cost you to have a publisher
Yeah.
um, do it. Plus, the time and effort is minimal, but it's the action, right? So I always explain to everybody, there was a day I never sold a real estate deal. I never sold anything. I didn't wasn't in real estate. I didn't
Right.
sell a house. I didn't sell, a a big 200,000 square foot warehouse. There was a day I never did that, right?
Mhm.
And so there was a day that you never wrote a book. There was a day that you may have never even wrote a blog. But why not you? And why not now? And I think now, one of the things, Michelle, what your thoughts on this, a lot of people are saying, well, the economy this, the economy that, should I spend the money, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I think we should do as much as we can right now to
Mhm.
grow our brand.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because this is an opportunity to start really taking market share because there's going to
Correct.
be so many people that recoil and pull back.
Right.
And so when other people are pulling back, if you really want to win, what do? You should rush forward,
Right.
right?
So
And this is a cool
exactly.
opportunity.
doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down, doing more because people what's happening is people are freezing
Mhm.
and pausing and don't know what to do. And if you're doing more, then you're even further ahead
Yep.
than than if they were doing something.
Right. Right.
So
Yep.
it's such a great opportunity. We're going to launch sometime in late fall or late October. Is the plan? Is the plan? And we're going to have a big launch on social and a lot of fun stuff with that. So yeah, it's just a lot of fun, a lot of excitement. Be a multi international Amazon bestseller. How about that?
You're scaring me again, but we're going anyway. We're going anyway. As I'm closing my eyes, like, here we go. Okay. We're just gonna jump, you
It's
know?
exciting. So, Michelle, tell our audience a little bit about what you do and in your business and
Mhm.
how you would correlate the two.
Yeah. I'm Michelle Saward, as we've said, coming into this, and I'm with EXP, and my office is in Trenton, Michigan. So I live in Grosse Ile. So if you're familiar with the area, we're like southeastern, just suburbs of Detroit, really. And my role has changed over the year from being a top performing salesperson to now leading, educating, and training and helping agents grow. So I still am considered a top selling salesperson, but I don't see myself as much that way anymore. I'm seeing myself as I said, moving into different roles now. So I have built a great team of people around me. Weren't we just talking about this a minute ago?
Mm.
To help pour into buyers and sellers that are looking to make a move and a transition. So, really, my heart is in building business, building organization, building people. Because, as I said at the beginning of this call, it's to leave this world better than when I started, and for people to say when I'm gone that Michelle Saward made a difference in my life. So that's how I see my role and my job now.
So good.
Yeah. So hopefully we can connect that to what we're going to be creating here together in this book. And with the help of your editor, that's going to like help me craft this, make sure I've got this dialogue. I'm going to need her. But hopefully we can deliver that message effectively with what we're creating here.
I'm sure that that's all going to happen. What's most important is it comes from your heart.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that I am really focused on right now is making sure it comes from center, and that this is why it scares me, because it needs to be authentic, and it needs to be centered in the right intention for me. So um I'm diligently focused on like self-awareness, and like I'm trying to like really like get in tune with that before we really start the editing process is done. Just want to make
Well, I
sure.
think it's really important on you.
Mhm.
That there is that self-awareness, but there also is that release because once we put
Mm.
that out there, it is therapeutic.
Mhm.
And one of the things that I've been able to do over the last several months is get real focused on what I want to do, how I'm going to spend my time,
Yep.
and walking and in my power,
Yep.
and really, really absorbing and understanding and accepting that the only thing that I can do every day is control myself.
Right.
And all I can do is provide all those around me with the best possible environment to grow and flourish and help assist with rising them up and building them as humans. That's the mission. That's the mission that I just heard you say, that you want to help others and help them build, because we all need some kind of something. There's somebody that helps us, right? There's
Mhm.
somebody somewhere. There might be multiple
Yeah.
someones. Like one of the people, one of our coaches are our husbands,
Yep.
probably our toughest coach, I would say. I know you know stories of mine, and I know
Yeah.
stories of yours. So they definitely are our toughest coaches. People would say, "What do you mean your husband coaches you?" I'm like, "The heck if he doesn't coach me, you have no idea what goes on." Everybody thinks Chip is like he's so nice and
He is.
he looks like he could be a pushover. He is definitely not. This man, it was interesting when we met gosh in 2009. I was like he was the first guy in my life like that didn't really back down to me.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother book, but
That is a book. That is
but
a book.
it is part of it, right? It is part of we all need a coach. Everybody needs a
Mhm.
coach. The coaches of the coach needs a coach, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And yes, everybody needs a coach and guidance. So, the book is a vehicle to tell the story. And it's now something that you can set that's a live lot an alive breathing thing in essence because the stories are alive and breathing, not because the book is, right?
Mhm.
The
Right.
story, the stories are, and they are projecting that emotional trigger that hopefully will help somebody to see that there is a light.
I
And they
hope that I hope that that's the end result of this book. I hope that that is exactly the words of the feedback that we receive, that it sparked a light and that it helped people, better pursue their dreams or their vision, and that it was an inspiration to other people. That was maybe just landed on their lap at just the right point in time for what they needed to grow.
exactly just like things came to us when we had no idea where they came from and we needed to grow.
Girl, sometimes they came to me 10 years before I know I needed it. And then I look back and I go, oh, yeah, that's what they were trying to tell me. No, I'm stuck.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And so one of the things with the book, we're going to contribute all of the proceeds to charity.
Mhm.
We're going to align with a great charity to help other women. So that's still in the works, which
Yep.
is really exciting
Yep.
once we iron all that out.
Yep.
So that's definitely a win-win all around.
Yep. That's good. It's good. It's truly in the spirit of giving from front to back, from beginning to end. Um, you know, I know we're working out the details on that charity. I get it. But that's part of the value add. That's part of the spirit of the book. So
Exactly.
yeah, so it's good. It's all
And
good.
masterminding with
Yeah.
you all. We'll do our
Yep.
first mastermind Friday
Oh,
at
okay, good. Okay.
9.
Okay.
Yes, and then we'll also figure out how other ways, that we're gonna work as a group, to promote so we
Hmm.
can get our message. I can't wait. I'm so excited. This is like I've decided that this is doing collaboration books as part of my business and my life. So this is not a one and done deal for me. This isn't just like a pet project, although it is really my I'm really
It's
excited about it right now.
yeah.
But I have so many other ideas for it, and then I hope that many of our contributors go on, and I love to see you all do your own books. So,
Yeah. That's my that I hope this is the catalyst for that.
oh, no doubt, no doubt. I did a collaboration book, Michelle, a long while back, but it was more of a coffee table book, and it wasn't an inspirational or aspirational type of book. It was just like a bunch of different entrepreneurs doing like different things, and uh, there was no collaboration between the contributors.
Yeah.
It was just like send your story when you're done, give us your picture and your bio, and we'll let you know when the book's printed. And if let us know how many you want it cost. And that has a different
It's a different
and
vibe.
that's a different vibe than what this is all about. It's
Yeah.
all about it's all about the community of it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's great. But then I like the idea of being involved more so with the process of like crafting the story, not just sending it off and we'll let you know. I like the
Exactly.
idea of cleaning it up and tweaking it and making it better and, having a bit of refinement in the process. So,
Yeah, I think it's an amazing opportunity too to meet some new people.
yeah.
Some of the folks, the women, you know some of them. Some will be people that maybe I don't even know because I'm asking people that I don't even know. I hope that they join because it's a great opportunity. But to build a collaboration
Mhm.
with other people in other industries for things that we probably know nothing about, Michelle,
Yeah. Right.
because we're both in the real estate sector. Although I learn so much from you all the time, and other, all these different things that you do, and the places you go, and the people you hang out with. So
Yeah. It's good. It's going
we
to be
can
really
all
good.
we can all learn from each other. So, Michelle, where can people contact you if they'd like to know more info of how you can help them in the real estate world?
Yeah.
Uh, where do they reach you?
Honestly, for how I move, text is best. And you can text my cell phone 313-622-1609. That is the best. And then you can find me, of course, I'm on Instagram. I think it's Michelle L. Saward. You can find me on Facebook. My name is pretty easily searchable. If it says Michelle Saward in real estate, that's me. There's also my same name, but photography. So I'm real estate. But yeah, you can find me either one of those ways.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
I'm
today.
so excited.
Oh
So
yeah, I'm
excited.
so scared and excited too.
Yeah, well,
It's gonna be good.
I have
It's
some
gonna be good.
fear around this.
Oh yeah, of
You
course.
know, I'm
Yeah,
getting 30 ladies together to contribute in a book. It's no joke.
yeah. I think I'm gonna adopt the word of like at the time. I think she was like my 5-year-old niece going onto her recital, and she said I'm nurse-sighted, which is nervous and excited. So she said
Oh,
I'm
I
nurse-sighted.
love it.
I was like,
I'm gonna steal your 5 near your
my nieces, yeah, my
she's like
nieces.
now like 21, right?
No, actually, she's 24, but actually, this is another one, but yeah, it's her sister. When she was younger, she was like, I'm so nearsighted.
Oh,
Like,
how
what is
well,
nearsighted?
I'm so nearsighted too.
There we go. All right, good.
Well,
Thank
welcome,
you again.
Michelle, to Fearless Female Leaders or Untold Stories Revealed. We're
Yeah.
excited to have you in the multi-author book.
Mhm.
It will be coming soon this fall, so everybody
Okay.
look out for that. And if you
Yeah.
want more info on the book and what we're doing, you can feel free to DM me. I answer all messages. People are
Mhm.
like, "You answer everything." I said, "I answer every message,
Me too.
even the crazy ones."
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I wish you a beautiful day, my friend.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you for participating and sharing your story with us today.
All right. Thanks.